Hello there. My name is Chaplain Jana Troutman Miller, and I am the BCCI Chair for the Commission on Certification. And I would like to thank you for taking the time to view this webinar on the 2017 Common Qualifications and Competencies for Professional Chaplains. Hopefully by now you have heard a little bit about the updates that we have made, and this webinar is here to give a bit of a background and highlight to those updates on the common qualifications. So a background and history on how we got here. In 2004, the spiritual care cognate groups, which consisted of the American Association of Pastoral Counselors, the Association for Clinical Pastoral Education, the Association of Professional Chaplains, the Canadian Association for Spiritual Care, the National Association of Catholic Chaplains, and the National Association of Jewish Chaplains came together and created what we know as the Common Standards for Professional Chaplaincy. Part of those, the Common Standards, is the current endorsement and being in good standing with one's own faith tradition, being current in payment of professional associations' annual dues, having completed an undergraduate and graduate level theological degree from a CHIA accredited college, university, or theological school, having completed 4 units of CPE, or Clinical Pastoral Education, from the Association of Clinical Pastoral Education, the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops Commission on Certification and Accreditation, or the Canadian Association for Pastoral Practice and Education. Also with the Common Standards was the 29 competencies that must be addressed in writing and in a committee of peers. And for the maintenance of certification, one needs to participate in a peer review process every 5th year, document 50 hours of annual continuing education, provide documentation every 5th year of current endorsement, be current in payment of professional associations' annual dues, and adhere to the Common Code of Ethics for chaplains, pastoral counselors, pastoral educators, and students. So now fast forward to 2016 and 2017, and our spiritual care cognate groups came together once again, with the exception of the American Association of Pastoral Counselors, who no longer certify their members, so they did not join in these meetings. The APC was represented by members of the Standards Committee. As the group gathered, they reaffirmed their relationship with one another. They reaffirmed the qualifications and maintenance requirements for certification, and they made some updated much needed updates to our competencies. So now let's review what these competency updates look like. First, we have the main title of the document. The main title has been changed, and we are now using the word qualifications rather than standards in order to more clearly differentiate this document with the APC Standards of Practice for Professional Chaplains. We know that over the years this has caused some confusion, and we felt like this was a good time to be able to make that clarification. So the 2004 document was called the Common Standards for Professional Chaplaincy. Our 2017 document is Common Qualifications and Competencies for Professional Chaplains. Our section titles has changed. The title for each section has changed to wording that brings more clarity to the areas of professional chaplaincy that they are describing. So in section 1, which was Theory of Pastoral Care, it is now Integration of Theory and Practice. Section 2 was formerly Identity and Conduct. Now it is Professional Identity and Conduct. Section 3 was Pastoral. Now it is Professional Practice Skills. And Section 4 is Professional and is now Organizational Leadership. The verbiage in certain of the competencies have changed. So certain competencies have been reworded to articulate more clearly the focus and meaning of the competency. So for example, formerly known as TPC4, incorporate a working knowledge of ethics appropriate to the pastoral context, is now ITP4, and it is read, incorporate a working knowledge of different ethical theories appropriate to one's professional context. And what was PRO3, articulate an understanding of institutional culture and systems and systemic relationships, is now OL3, and it reads, understand and function within the institutional culture and systems, including utilizing business principles and practices appropriate to one's role in the organization. It is our hope that as we have reworded some of these, that it will make them more clear as to what we are looking for. Other verbiage is the term patients has been changed to care recipients in order to be more inclusive of professional chaplains who do not serve in a healthcare context. So for example, PAS2 was provide effective pastoral support that contributes to the well-being of patients, their families, and staff. And now it is PPS2, and it reads, provide effective spiritual support that contributes to well-being of the care recipients, their families, and staff. And PAS7, provide religious, spiritual resources appropriate to the care of patients, families, and staff, is now PPS6 and reads, provide religious, spiritual resources appropriate to the care recipients, families, and staff. Other verbiage changes, the term pastoral has been changed to spiritual, professional, or chaplain where appropriate, in order to be more inclusive of religious and spiritual traditions that do not identify with the term pastoral. Examples of this, TPC1, articulate a theology of spiritual care that is integrated with a theory of pastoral practice. And now it is ITP1, and it reads, articulate an approach to spiritual care rooted in one's faith or spiritual tradition that is integrated with a theory of professional practice. And IDC2, use pastoral authority appropriately, is now PIC5, and it reads, use one's professional authority as a spiritual care provider appropriately. There is a reordering of some of the competencies. Certain competencies have been reordered to reflect the sequence of professional growth. So here you have an example of Section 2, which was Identity and Conduct, and now it is Section 2, Professional Identity and Conduct. And you can see that the 2004 examples have been rearranged. Another reordering of competencies, the former competency PRO5, document one's contribution of care effectively in the appropriate records, has been moved from Section 4 to Section 3 because of the increased importance of documentation to professional chaplaincy. And there are two new competencies. Two new competencies have been added, taking us from 29 to 31. These are in the areas of research and group facilitation. So in Section 1, the integration and of theory and practice, ITP6 reads, articulate how primary research and research literature inform the profession of chaplaincy and one's spiritual care practice. And in Section 3, professional practice skills, PPS9 reads, facilitate group processes such as family meetings, post-trauma, staff debriefing, and support groups. So now a little bit about the implementation of these updates. The updated 31 competencies will go into effect immediately. Applicants for certification who submit their materials after April 1st, 2017 must use the verbiage of the updated competencies and must address the two new competencies in their essays. An updated competency essay writing guide is available to give clear understanding of the meaning behind each competency. Applicants for certification who have submitted their materials prior to April 1st, 2017 will not be asked to resubmit. Current subsequent appearance candidates will also not be asked to address these updates and new competencies. And most importantly now, we need you. If you are a current board or associate certified chaplain, you will not be required to do anything additional to what you have already done to receive your certification. These changes do not alter your current requirements for maintenance of certification. And we need your help. We rely on all of our members to have the most up-to-date information about certification requirements so that, especially if you are mentoring someone seeking certification or you are sitting on a committee for certification, you will have a clear understanding of what is required of the applicants. And we all are ambassadors for what it means to be a professional chaplain. Knowing what the current common qualifications and competencies for certification are will help us spread the word about the importance of hiring certified chaplains. For more information on these changes and updates, you can link onto any of these and get some more information. So comparing the 2004 and 2017 Common Qualifications and Competencies for Professional Chaplains will give you a side-by-side view of what the changes and updates look like. The 2017 Common Competencies for Professional Chaplains document is simply a list of all of the updated 31 competencies. And the BCCI Competency Writing Guide is taking all of the 31 competencies and giving a clear explanation and understanding of what is behind these. This can be helpful for those who are seeking certification and as well as those who are mentoring and going to be serving on the certification committees. This will give you an understanding of these updates as well. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact our BCCI offices. Our phone number is here as well as the email, and more information will be on the website. So thank you so much for watching this webinar. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact our APC and BCCI offices. Thank you all and have a blessed day.